An unregistered investment services company known as CBEX has reportedly closed shop in Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria, trapping an estimated 1.3 trillion naira of investors' monies. Arise News reports on Tuesday that sorrow, tears and anger, including the looting of furniture and fittings of the CBEX company, followed the disappearance of the operators of the alleged Ponzi scheme, as those that invested in the scheme are unable to access their funds. Joining me for a one-on-one interview chat to this developing story is the Director General of Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Emomotimi Agama. We will thank you, Mr. Director General, for making it to the show at a very short notice and on a matter of such importance. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Bosun. It's actually a matter of great importance to our citizens, so it's important that I'm here.
Yes, but bring us up to speed, Mr. Director General, on the reports that an Ibadan-based illegal investment scheme has folded up and shot out investors' monies in hundreds of millions of naira. What do we know right now? Where are we?
Well, it's important to state clearly here that the said scheme is not registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And we have said it for the often time, that any scheme that is not registered, any investment scheme that is not registered with the SEC is illegal. Fortunately, like you're aware, the ISA 2025 specifically defines what Ponzi scheme is and indeed provided for the sanctions that will be meted to anyone involved in Ponzi schemes by way of promotion or otherwise. And this is very clear. For us at the SEC, our primary responsibility is investor protection. And investor protection stems out of registration and regulation. When a scheme is not registered with the SEC, it becomes illegal, and it is important that whoever is interested in investing in such schemes must ask the question, are you registered with the SEC? And if that is not the case, then it is automatically stated and known that such is an illegal activity and will not be condoned even by the SEC.
Yeah, so
for us at the SEC, the CBEX, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Director General, sorry to cut in there respectfully. I'm just trying to,
Hello?
we're trying to find out. Mr. Director General, this was an illegal and unregistered investment scheme operator. That's what you said, Mr. Director General. And how much of the news coming out of Ibadan right now is on your hands? How much of this are you aware of until now? If it's illegal activities, was the SEC aware that these folks were operating illegally in Ibadan, your state capital? And right now, what are the actions that the SEC is taking as we speak tonight?
Yes, it's important to state clearly that the SEC was not aware of the illegal operation of CBEX. And what happens oftentimes with schemes like this, most people will always try to keep it away from the regulator and even keep it away from their friends, except a few group of persons whom they are interested in. So for us at the SEC, as we speak today, at this hour, we have not received any formal complaint from anyone regarding CBEX. Because if we had received a complaint, any formal complaint regarding CBEX, the team at the SEC will have actually swung into action trying to get who and who is involved. However, we sympathize very much with the people, the victims, because they are Nigerians. And of course, as SEC, we will commence investigation as to where these people are and, of course, make sure we hunt them down. Because the law actually has given us the power to take them down, find them, sanction them by fining, and also sending them to the prisons for 10 years. That is the provision of the law, minimum.
All right, Mr. Director General, the SEC and the government has been criticized. The social media has been abused since over the last 24, 48 hours. Government has been criticized. The SEC has been criticized for not providing enough public enlightenment on Ponzi schemes or fraudulent financial investments such as this. How do you respond to that?
Well, people have their opinions to make, but it is clear for the often time, the SEC, either by paid advertisement, by the videos that are actually uploaded on the SEC website, by interviews, positions, by newspaper articles, we have continuously warned Nigerians against investing in schemes that are too good to be true. Ponzi schemes didn't start today. It's a global malaise. It started in the 20th century by a man called Charles Ponzi, who clearly, at that point in time, promised that he was going to be able to give every investor 50% in returns. And from then on, it became a practice by so many people to defraud people from their hard-earned resources. But it is very clear that the choices made by people must be dictated and regulated by the law of the land. The SEC will continuously educate people. We have, in the process of doing that, agreed to various forms of interviews. We've also launched a podcast at the SEC providing more information towards our long-term goal of launching a capital market radio. We will continue because we know that it is not enough. We will continue to educate Nigerians onto the last milestone to make people understand and know the value of proper investment. But I will take this opportunity once again to plead with Nigerians who want to invest. Please make sure you make your inquiries. You ask the SEC by telephone, by going to our website to make inquiries as to whether these persons or individuals are registered by the SEC. For whichever one you are aware that is not registered, please, we ask that you inform the SEC in good time. We have taken several actions against other Ponzi schemes that we have seen and noted in this country, and people are, actually in jail for them. We remember the one of FAMSI. We remember the one of MBA Forex. We remember other Ponzi schemes that have actually, been arrested in Nigeria by the SEC officials. And indeed, we are working with the EFCC to make sure that we clear the country or rid the country of bad eggs who have no good intentions for our citizens.
Yes, so based on experience and what the SEC has done over the years and decades in terms of tackling it, what really makes Ponzi, Mr. Director General, we spent about a minute or so on that, what really makes Ponzi or fraudulent schemes such as these thrive in any environment? Is it poverty? Is it lack of financial literacy or public enlightenment, or what?
Well, as much as possible, one cannot adduce one single reason for such activity or actions by people. I said earlier that Ponzi schemes operate all over the world. And indeed, you find some very high-class individuals engaged in it. We remember the case of Bernie Madoff of the USA, a very high-profile individual who was engaged in it. So clearly, you cannot adduce a particular reason for that action. But there are several reasons that one could naturally say may have been the reason for people getting into it. And those reasons could stem from poverty to greed, to lack of understanding, lack of education. And for us at the SEC, one we can control is education. We will try within our resources to continue to educate Nigerians by way of workshop, by way of seminars, by way of webinars, and by way of advertisement to at least reach out to Nigerians to get an understanding of what exactly constitutes a Ponzi scheme. And so we believe strongly that with more effort, we are going to be able to reach more people and get them to understand that once something is too good to be true, then certainly it is not true.
All right, we're getting to a very important, another important point, Mr. Director General. How much more can the SEC do in terms of Ponzi schemes preventions, perhaps in terms of surveillance? And of course, if you look at your colleagues, counterparts in other jurisdictions, perhaps in more developed markets such as the United States, you have SEC officials or agents. Do you think the SEC in Nigeria, do you think you need more boots on the ground for cities or towns around Nigeria where we've had similar incidents of Ponzi schemes, Ibadan, for example, in Kano, for example, in Port Harcourt, in Benin City? Do you think the SEC would need more both human and technology deployment in order to nip these activities in check before the roof actually caved in? For example, before these folks, illegal folks, switched off on these Nigerians, maybe we could have caught them in the act before they bolt out of the door with people's money.
Yes. So it's important that Nigerians, believe in the SEC and indeed in law enforcement agencies of this country. So we ask, that whoever gets in contact with this set of persons should quickly report to the SEC. But I can tell you a story, and that story stems out of some of the information we have gotten while we had investigated other Ponzi schemes. Because what they do is say, look, I will get into it and get my benefits, and after that, then I will report. And you do not know when this situation will get bad. So clearly, a lot of people may have known and will not want to tell the SEC or the law enforcement agencies, believing strongly that they will take advantage of the situation and later report, only to be caught in the web in the situation. So we believe strongly that as SEC, one of the things we are doing, and we have been supported by Mr. President, is to establish more offices of the SEC to get closer to the people. That's one of the things we are doing. The second thing that has happened, which is very good, is that at the last budget hearing of the SEC, the Senate recommended an approval of 10 billion naira to the SEC in order for us to have a strong education, a market education program in order to be able to reach out to more Nigerians as at when due. So for us, we will continue to improve on our surveillance. We will continue to do what we need to do. We're establishing different programs. There's a program we've just incubated. It's called Snap and Speak. And Snap and Speak speaks to the fact that if we find any Ponzi scheme advertised anywhere in Nigeria, we expect that our team of Snap and Speak will send such and we'll go after them. Right away in Abuja, very recently, we did that and we brought down some of those advertisements that are all over the place. So we speak to Nigerians even at this time. So please let us know when you find a situation which is not correct. A Ponzi scheme is a Ponzi scheme. There is no other way to paint it other than the fact that it wants to rip off Nigerians, and your brother, your sister, your relation may be just the next victim. We do not want to have victims all around because they are Nigerians, and it's important for us to protect every investor that is a Nigerian.
Mr. Director General, so what remedies are available to those whose monies are trapped in the Ibadan-based CBEX? You said no one has stepped forward yet, at least contact the SEC and say, look, I've lost X, Y amount of money. But what also are the next steps that the SEC is taking against these perpetrators of this illegal scheme? How soon are you going with that? Have you met with your team? Have you put in boots on the ground? Are they in Ibadan already? How soon will they get on the ground?
So the next step that the SEC is taking, or has taken already, is to investigate. We already, we've gotten some information, and those information are useful information. We are following up on those information, and also we are happy to share those information with co-regulators all over the place and law enforcement agencies. We'll do our best to crack down on these persons, and whoever is part of these persons. So they also have associates. So we'll go out for each and every one of them. And we'll do our work because government has given us the powers to do our work. The signing of the ISA is a great relief for us, and it empowers us to do just what we need to do to make sure that Nigerians are safe. And once monies are recovered, of course, these monies will be given back to the owners of the money. But we will continue to ask Nigerians to be wary of such investment. We assume that even as we speak, some people may be planning other schemes that will defraud Nigerians. We ask that you reach out to the SEC via email, via telephone calls, and, of course, on our website via our complaints box to tell us about these people so that we can go out for them and make sure we keep Nigerians safe.
All right, thank you. We're very grateful to have you on the Arrest Exchange tonight. Dr. Momotimi Agama, Director General at Nigeria Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you for your time speaking to the latest policy scheme, the development, unfortunate incidents in Ibadan, your state capital. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a great evening.